The recovery is in play. It's a make or break moment for crypto, for Bitcoin, for altcoins. This is a moment in time that we're going to look back and say it was either the continuation of the bull market or maybe this is the bear market. We'll talk about which way we're thinking. Also, a little bit of a post-mortem on what happened Friday, the absolute disaster of liquidations. Some coincidences are popping up that might make you scratch your head. We'll talk about that. Larry Fink was on 60 Minutes, shilling the shit out of crypto. We also have JP Morgan Chase kind of telling us what they're planning on doing over the next 6 to 12 months. A sovereign wealth fund, the largest in the world, one of the largest, is looking to get into the Bitcoin space. We have Hunter Horsley sharing. We got some altcoin news. And to Monday, we're going to give away some money from the Friday show. We did an emergency stream. So if you're here from the Friday show, you're in contention for winning $100. We're going to pick the winner today. We have a lot to talk about. Gina, roll the intro.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content. Take old, boring, and stale information, repackage it all up in an amazing, fun, Vegas, Elvis, showgirls, strip clubs, nightclubs kind of way. That's what we do here. We do what Vegas does best, but we do it on a crypto live stream. We've had some record-breaking volatility. We've had some record-breaking liquidations. And, well, had some shakeup in the altcoin space. So some things that got punched right in the gut and have not come back. Some things have bounced back pretty quickly. And, well, Bitcoin's hanging out at 114. Take a look at what's up on the 24 hours here. You got synthetics up 77%, over 100%. Synthetics, something that's been around for quite some time. We've seen it jump in and out of the top 100 frequently. They've had recently a V2 or V3 rollout, which is focused more on perp dexes. So if you're not familiar with synthetics, they provide the back-end liquidity for a lot of these dexes, particularly the perp ones now. That's why it's getting a lot of love. Also, BitTensor up another 10% on the 24 hours, over $400 at 416. This is one of David's recent calls. So if you guys have watched the channel at all in the last couple of weeks, you know that my man here, David's been getting pretty bullish on the position of BitTensor here on the short term, which is playing out. Also, we've seen a big rally.
You're the privacy czar. I'm the AI czar.
Yeah. So from Zcash and Dash have both performed pretty well. I called out Dash when it started kind of popping off at $60, and well, rallied almost up to $300. And I said, no, Zcash. And then in turn, I'm like, hey guys, these things pump in sectors. So Zcash led the way. Pay attention to Dash. This was outside the number 150 on the market cap range and broke into the top 100. And so if you've taken a position on Dash, you might have got it around $30 when we called it here. It's currently over 50. Keeping a close eye on this one. I'm not sure how high this one will go. I'm about 50-50 on the direction of Dash. Will it get up to that 150 range and break into the top 60 on the market cap? Or will it kind of fall flat from where it's at now? I'm not too sure. But
there's another one too.
Yeah. And then what else do we got?
So this was posted on October 7th, so about a week ago. It said 2x incoming for wire. It was sitting at 0.67, right? We identify this inverse head and shoulders, and we're almost there. Another 40% move, and we'll get that clean 2x. This is sitting at 10 million market cap, whereas when we put out the post, it was sitting at a 6 million market cap. And so this is one, I've done a deep dive on this one. Shared with the Patreon members. The company behind this token, 717 Capital, they do OTC settlements, and they're a Circle partner. And they're looking at getting into the neo-banking game. So this thing's moving. It's got pretty thin liquidity. And so any big buys, and when I say big buys, like $2,000, $3,000 can immensely move the markets, but vice versa is true as well. You get 2, 3, 4, 5 grand of selling. It could move the markets the opposite way as well. Volume is sitting at a 4x over what it usually is. And so this could potentially be a runner. So those of you that are part of our Patreon, hopefully you got in early, sitting on a nice little 2x from where it was just 24 hours ago. And so, AI is running. Sire was running yesterday. That thing got up to $1.07. It's seeing a little bit of a pullback. Let's check Sire. Big update coming on Thursday. By the way, this DEX tool shows one holder. That's me, guys. I'm the one holder. Obviously, this is incorrect information. But nice little W pattern here on Sire as well. Final kind of setup to complete this pattern would be that bull flag breakout to the upside. This thing is sitting at 20 million. I think this could easily be a $500 million or more crypto project, which will put it at a 25x from here. 25x from here at 500 million. $1 billion is a 50x. So definitely a possibility. We'll see how the vaults go. We'll see if they'll grab any more of those large sports hedge funds. We know they got the largest one at 300 million in AUM. It's a couple months ago. And this team, man, it's all about believing in the team. Just like virtuals, you believe in the team. Pengu, Pudgy Penguins, you believe in Luca, aka the team. And for this one, you believe in the team, but not just believing in the team. They are in a sector that I think is going to have a massive run. Poly market, Kalshi, predictions market, sports betting. So super bullish on those.
Going down the list here, if you look at the altcoins, at what's down on the week, basically the week will tell you what has bounced back, particularly after the drop. And the 24 hours not going to tell you much, right? The 24 hours return on these altcoins, we had a giant drop in Bitcoin. We went from essentially 120 down to 105 briefly, but essentially we went from 120 to 110. And then from 110, we rallied back up to 114. So the 24 hours is not going to tell you much. However, the 1 week is going to tell you a lot about how these altcoins are shaping up and how they're performing, particularly after that. And you go down the list here. Something really stands out for me here. So you got Bitcoin down 8%, ETH down 10%, Solana down 15%, Doge down 20%. You go down here, you got Avalanche down 25% on the week. This is something that is losing market cap compared to other altcoins here. Have a solid team, solid chain. You got a potential ETF coming out here this week. And so, I still have an optimistic point of view. However, this is going in the opposite direction, and it's just having a hard time bouncing. And so what we're seeing is that as these big drops or these pullbacks come in from Bitcoin, you'll see gains lost, and then just a percentage of that is never made up, particularly on Avalanche. This is something that was well inside the top 10. Now it's getting closer to the top 20. And it's up 1% in 24 hours, down 25%. It's the lowest. It's the biggest loser out of the top 30 projects. You have to go down to World Liberty Finance before you find something else that's...
Rob, you're a loser.
So, also, if you just take a look, so kind of the way I like to look at evaluate these, the situations when Bitcoin has a big pullback and alts are quote unquote on discount. Take a look at the 7 day. You got what's up here. You'll see what the top performers are. Which you got Zcash, Dash, BitTensor here, Synthetics here leading the way on the top 4 gainers. But look what's down. And so one thing stands out here. Is that on
the 7 day?
Yeah. So this is on the 7 day. What's down? You got Optimism down 37%. You also got Arbitrum down quite heavy down in here as well, down 25%. And so ETH is down. ETH is down tremendously. Also, Aster doesn't surprise me because I had this big rally prior to that. So I knew this was coming. But for me, and we know that artificial superintelligence, that one's falling apart. The merger, one third partner is bounced. So it looks like ETH projects. ETH is down only 5. What's ETH? ETH down 10%. And so compared to Bitcoin, it's relatively neck and neck. It's over $4,000. I feel comfortable on ETH. So ETH is holding up well as far as its market price. However, its ecosystem is down. And so for me, I feel like the thing that's going to probably bounce back first, if ETH is holding strong, would be its ecosystem, its plays, right? And Optimism and Arbitrum are arguably two of the strongest plays in the Ethereum ecosystem. And so I think the steepest discount is coming off Optimism. And I think it might be a good time to buy. I mean, look at this. It went from 77 cents and just straight collapsed down to 40 cents and has yet to even sniff a bounce back. So I do think a bounce back is coming. I don't think that ETH is dead. And I think that the altcoin ecosystems are going to rally. I think that it'll be led by Ethereum. And I think that Optimism is a great play. And so for me, when I'm looking at where to make money post Bitcoin drop, I think Optimism with this pullback minus the inexistent rally afterwards, which is not there. The rally is coming. ETH is holding steady. ETH's over $4,000. And so it makes sense to me that this one right here will rally well. We'll keep a close eye on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is back up above 70 cents by the end of the week. Keep a close eye on Optimism. You can replace this with Arbitrum. It's a very similar chart. If you take a look at Arbitrum here, Arbitrum is also down here in the month. However, we've seen a stronger bounce back from Arbitrum than we have Optimism, which is even more of an indication that Optimism is going to rally in the same way that Arbitrum has particularly rallied, because Arbitrum was down under 30 cents and is now currently over 35. And so Optimism, one of my favorite plays for the week.
All right, say less. Say less, my friend. 12x long. Open.
Let's go.
You tell me when you want to cash down, and we'll cash down.
All right. I think 70 cents is what I'm thinking, but ask me again in 48 hours.
Okay. Please don't liquidate. Where do I want to go next? Okay, let's talk about what the F happened on Friday, okay? I shared my conspiracy yesterday in a kind of raw and unfiltered live show. There's like 200 people in there. Very surprised. It was last minute. Wasn't something we do normally. Pretty good turnout. And my conspiracy was that Donald Trump is being George Bushed. What does that mean? Remember George Bush in the early 2000s when 9/11 happened, and you had the likes of Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld and Condoleezza Rice, and his NSA people were telling him, giving him bad info, pretty much to move the needle to get him to get Congress to enact war and to go into the Middle East and the war on terror. They have weapons of mass destruction, and they were behind it, when now we're finding out none of that was true. So bad information led to bad decisions. What if that's what's happening with Trump, right? What if people around him, and instead of the neocons, it's the technocrats, right? The David Sachs, big, the people around him, right? David Sachs, Howard Lutnick, Scott Bessent. You can even say J.D. Vance. These are all tech guys from the tech world, VC funding, institutions, hedge funds. They have connections and they have friends in Wall Street. What if Trump is being manipulated because we know any of his posts or tweets, they move the markets. What if he's being given bad information or being manipulated into posting these things, allowing for shit like this to happen, and then helping the friends of the people I just kind of highlighted get better entries on some of these alts? Because Wall Street's here. They want to be here. But let me tell you what, they ain't going to buy Avalanche from you at $50. They're probably going to get that thing down to $15, $20, and then buy. And then you saw some weird, very, very weird. The whole Binance thing. Binance went down. Coinbase went down. The problem, my friends, is the smaller exchanges, the leverage exchanges, they get their pricing from Binance, and a lot of them. It's the largest exchange in the world. People, stop losses, didn't matter. Limit buy orders, didn't matter. Limit sell orders, didn't matter. Nothing mattered. No one can do anything. You couldn't even add margin and try to save your position. we got liquidated out of a very big long. You guys know I was in a $300 BitTensor long, and it got to $430. That would have been like a $4,000 trade. $4,000 is a lot of money. That obviously went down the drain. So then we see this. And it makes you kind of scratch your head a little bit, right? Trump considers pardon for Binance founder CZ. Just 3 days after what we saw on Friday with Binance. There's, CryptoFace, by the way, shout out to CryptoFace. He did a video on Friday talking about how this was Binance is doing. And I'm not signing off on what he said. I'm just sharing what he said just in case you didn't see it. But it's just very strange, the timing. And we're seeing reports that the liquidations were underreported by the centralized exchanges, which shocker. Then you also saw some weird stuff on decentralized perp exchanges like Hyperliquid. See this from Andrew Tate. His trade got closed, and he wasn't in a long. He was in a short, and it was closed for auto deleveraging. I'll come to you in a second here, Rob. Hold on 1 second. It was closed for auto deleveraging. My theory and thesis is, and it's a little bit of a conspiracy, this was a coordinated attempt under the guise of a tariff tweet. I'm sorry, but a simple tariff tweet, we've been doing this since 2018, is not dropping the markets and liquidating $20 billion. With that said, before we get into our conversation, I want to give a big thank you. A shout out to our channel sponsor, Stake.us. If you're looking for a home to play some games, win some free stake cash, and also once you create an account, you can log in every day, claim 1 free stake cash, and then redeem it for crypto. Look no further than Stake.us. There's a link in the description if you want to support the channel. We love Stake. We love you. Thank you, Stake, for sponsoring today's show. What are your thoughts on my conspiracy? Do you have a conspiracy? And if you want to talk about this Andrew Tate trade, feel free to do so. What do you think happened, man?
I don't think there's a conspiracy that goes up to the executive branch.
You don't think so?
No. And I think that if you look at Eric Trump, he has been calling to buy Ethereum at the worst times. They've made money in crypto, particularly the meme coins. They haven't really made a lot of money, comparatively speaking, off of the back of these liquidations, right? Now, maybe there's something behind doors. Maybe there's some handshakes and envelopes passed around. But my guess is that I think Donald Trump, when it comes to tweeting about tariffs, when it comes to going back and forth with China, I don't think that crypto is a fuel or a priority to his decision-making. I think the overall economy is a bigger piece of the puzzle. And if he is manipulating the markets, it's not crypto markets, it's the stock market. It's the U.S. economy. It's the price of goods. It's inflation. It's showcasing power dominance over the Fed. Crypto is such a minute piece of the puzzle. It's such a small comparison when it comes to stock market, when it comes to GDP, when it comes to Fed fund rates. It's almost insignificant when you compare it to those baskets. And so there's more impact.
But one can argue it's easier to manipulate.
It's easier to point the finger because when these tweets come out, they have a bigger impact on crypto. But when NASDAQ drops 3%, that's a lot more money lost and a lot more money gained and a lot more people affected from that versus Bitcoin dropping 10%. Bitcoin drops 10%. Okay, cool. Whatever. Some nerds get liquidated. I'm not downplaying the liquidations, but I'm just saying that, like, if you were to compare crypto liquidations to people losing money on Wall Street, it's a lot more money at play in Wall Street and the U.S. economy than there is versus crypto. So the fuel for conspiracy theory for me, if there is one, is probably more geared towards U.S. economy, GDP, influencing the Fed, getting Fed rate cuts. That's where I'm at, right? It's like if you're a drug dealer and you're making billions of dollars, running cocaine or something, and then you're making $100,000 off of selling some marijuana, and you're like, man, he did all of this for the weed. Like, no, he's making all his money off of running coke up across the waters. Like, well, I mean, but the prices of weed are gonna, like, no. The reason that the reason that these policies have such big pushback, and then after he tweets, he has a press conference, everyone's asking him questions. Ain't nobody asking him questions like, oh my God, you shocked the crypto markets. No, they're like, yo, the NASDAQ just dropped 3%. Inflation is out of control and you're in a trade war? That's what everyone wants to know because it's affecting everybody. Crypto's affecting a small amount of traders. And what? Bitcoin fell from 120 to now it's at 114. It's not that big. It's not some ground shaking event.
Well, depends on.
I'm just saying from the conspiracy theory, right? It's like, why shake up all the markets just to get a small little liquidation washout in crypto when you're essentially shaking up the whole country, right? As far as Andrew Tate's liquidation event, that's very interesting. Did a little research into that.
Does that happen on a DEX, bro? Like a decentralized?
Yeah. But here's the thing. And so the way it works, and so for this for what happened was there's auto deleveraging is a risk management tool. So it kicks in when one side, here in this situation, the traders are getting liquidated. And so they got to pay them out, right? Or they're getting liquidated so that they're cashing in money. But at the same time, on the other side, someone is gaining a crap ton of money. So if someone's in a short, like Andrew Tate, and he has a giant position.
It was, I think, what?
Yeah, say he has a giant position. And he's making money on the short. If the DEX doesn't have the money to pay him out at that exact moment, it closes it out.
It was 15 Bitcoin worth $1.7 million.
So it closes it out. And so this is directly from the Hyperliquid docs. So auto deleveraging strictly ensures that the platform stays solvent. If user's account is isolated position becomes negative, the opposite side position they're ranked. So basically the biggest traders are closed first. So the biggest trade is going to be closed first by ranking. And then they have a formula for it: market price, entry price, nominal position, account value. Those positions are closed. So that way the exchange can never go underwater. So if you think about it this way, if somebody is hitting a massive long or a massive short, if there's not, because there's
not enough on the other side.
If there's not enough on the other side, it auto closes. It doesn't matter. And here's the thing: if you look at a centralized exchange, what they'll do is they would, in theory, have to keep paying even though they don't have the money.
Correct.
And so then what does the regular exchange?
They're the house.
Yeah, they start going underwater. And they probably do something like, hey, our servers went down. The network is frozen. You know what I'm saying? Like a DEX by math is going to close it because there's just no money. A centralized exchange is going to close it how? Or do they just take an L? You got to argue the exchange probably isn't going to take an L, especially if someone's hitting a
They'll find their way.
That's what I'm saying. They'll find their way. Exactly. They'll find their way. And their way will be systems currently down. This liquidation event got triggered early.
Sorry, guys. Our network was bombarded.
Yes.
You know.
So
we'll do better next time.
But
we promise.
You can't lie to Matt. So I mean, you might be upset.
We didn't see this coming.
You might be upset if you're in a trade and you're the biggest trader and you're in some God candle short or long. But the reality of it is, if the money's not there because it's a DEX and there's nobody backing it other than the other side of the order books, if it's not there, it gets closed, which is very interesting. I don't have that problem because I'm not that big of a trader, but it's very intriguing.
So let me ask you a question, Rob. Let me ask you a genuine question. So you just laid out the pros and cons of centralized versus decentralized in terms of perpetual futures trading, right?
Yeah.
Which one would you rather go with?
But here's also another thing to take into account. This was on the biggest, arguably the biggest perp DEX there is. So that problem is going to be magnified as you get into lower ones. And so you got to ask yourself, is it even worth risking going into smaller DEXs and putting in big positions? Because if there's not enough liquidity on the other side, your trade's going to be automatically closed. How common is this? I don't know. Obviously, it's going to get tested as volatility arises, right? And yeah, I don't know.
So then, what would you?
But I mean, it's trade-offs, right? It's trade-offs. What would you prefer?
Exactly. That's what I'm asking you. What would you prefer? You finally hit it big. It goes away massively. You're about to make $50 million, and then they deleverage you. Or you're about to make $50 million, and the platform goes down because, oh my God, the network usage went up 6, 7.
For me, I'll be honest with you. If I had to evaluate, like, what is the best option for me, I always go to liquidity. And liquidation events are magnified by lack of liquidity. And so why is it that when you look at the drop, when Bitcoin fell from the 117 down to 104, the smaller exchanges had gigantic candles that we laughed at and said that had to be wrong. It wasn't wrong. It was just that the liquidation, cascading liquidations, there was not enough buy orders on the back end to catch the falling candle.
But I'm pretty sure it was wrong. Like Cosmos was not a penny.
I'm not saying
Cosmos was not a penny.
What in theory, what would happen if there is, let's just say, 1,000 buy orders and there's just no buys between a penny and $1.50? If there's literally no limit order buys put in at that point, it mathematically has to go down to zero until somebody notices it instantaneously. It's like, holy shit.
But Binance came out and said, and a lot of these said that the price was not what it was. It was just showing wrong.
Yeah, and I think there's computer, but okay. So I don't know, but still, if that was on Binance, Binance should have the liquidity for it anyways. Doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is that when you go, if I'm looking at, look, where am I going to trade at? It's where the deeper liquidity is. If I'm leverage trading, because if you get big volatile moves from one direction or the other, if there's a lack of liquidity when you close out your leverage positions, whether you're closing out shorts or longs, if there isn't a lot of liquidity, the candle is going to spike hard. And if you're on the wrong side, you're going to get liquidated, right? If I got a long position in and there's not a lot of deep liquidity and the price starts falling, I have a very strong likelihood of getting liquidated. And so for me, to answer your question, which one would I choose? Whichever has bigger liquidity, right? Would I trade Binance Bitcoin, the deepest liquidity there is? You can rest assured that that's not going to drop down to $89,000, right? But on a small exchange for, I don't know, near protocol, outside the top 30, on a small exchange, near protocol, probably has very weak liquidity. You enter in a long trade on that, price starts falling, good luck. Good luck not getting liquidated there. That's my whole point.
GG's. Means a good game.
Really?
Speaking of GG's, GG's to Minotaur. Look at that. Bro, about the bottom, man. Minotaur, if you're alive and well and you can hear me through the large language model universe that exists, thank you. My boy over here bought Bitcoin at literally the bottom. It caught the knife, and the knife was dull, and he caught it perfectly by the handle. You guys know over the last 30 to 40 days, we've been testing this thing out. This thing has definitely proved its worth. We're going to keep doing it. We're actually going to expand into futures. But just to show you now, to be fair, of course, it did buy at much higher valuations. It bought in at around 123. It bought in at 121. Looks like it started a new batch around 117.9, 113.7, and then, of course, catching the bottom at 103.2. So the average price, we have three. We have 117, 103, and 114.7. Those are our three average entries on Bitcoin that is sold and taken profit into USDT. Now, if you have this API or if you want to get the bot, you can do it to where it just auto buys and DCAs Bitcoin for you if you want to stack it. And so if you want more info, guys, there's a link in the description. Book a call with them and ask as many questions as you possibly can. These guys are legit. So, man, what a great product they built. Shout out to them. We'll keep giving you guys updates on this. And I know a few big traders that are using this that are making a killing off of it. So yeah. All right, let's talk about, this is interesting. So remember the whale, the whale who was shorting massive amounts of Bitcoin 1 minute up to that when Trump tweeted the announcement?
Yep.
Well, he's back. Take a look at this, Rob. This is his position. He's got a $345 million Bitcoin short. And he just added to it again. Entry price 116. I mean, hey, I made $2 million, 7% off 350. It's not massive, but it's pretty good returns. The trade is still open.
When did he hit 116? When did it jump up there?
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It wicked up to it did wick up to 116. Let's go here. I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously, depending on where.
That's a nice wick because I haven't. He must have had that buy order in. Entry
look at a Bitstamp. You see Bitstamp here shows a.
Is that where he's trading it?
I don't know. Hyperliquid. But this thing got up to high as 116.035 for Bitcoin. So
his entry point was 16.05.
Here's his entry right here. 116.
0.90 cents.
Yeah.
It's an interesting entry point because he is.
And guess what?
He has not caught us.
It's exact local top.
That's my whole point.
Here's your wick. The exact. By $35, this guy was off. I don't know, man. I get the coincidence shit. Stuff happens. You can't really, explain it. But to open an account a day before, to short Bitcoin up to 1 minute, 1 single minute, 60 seconds before Trump made that post that started this whole thing, and then to get into another long the top exactly. Is he using Minotaur?
So hold on. Where did he open up that short?
116.
No, on what platform?
Hyperliquid.
Then how come he didn't get auto
deleveraged?
Auto deleveraged.
Well, this was no. This was not. I mean, this was recently opened, Rob. It was like today or yesterday.
No, but I'm saying his original one. Or did he now?
Oh, the original one. I don't know where that was. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Because it had to arguably be the biggest position, and so why did Tate get auto deleveraged, but that guy didn't?
I don't know. It's a good question.
If they're trading on the same damn platform.
Well, maybe it wasn't on. I don't know. I'll find out if it was on Hyperliquid. Yeah. Also, non-skater dude in the chat.
You want to talk about conspiracy theories? If they're ranking, and I'm just saying, if he was trading on Hyperliquid, and his trade stayed open, but yet Andrew Tate's did not, then you want to talk about conspiracy theories? I mean, get into that one. Very interesting.
I'm looking.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
What do you think? What kind of food do you think this is?
What? A pizza.
Wrong. It's a frog.
What? Shut the. I guess I could have read the caption.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you were going to get into it, but
I was not.
CME launches options trading on Sol and XRP. Very, very interesting. The gears of institutional money is ramping up. What does this mean for Sol and XRP? I'm telling you, I think, remember I was telling you that we're going to have a Sol winter?
Yeah.
I know everyone always says Solana summer, and I'm like, nah, yeah, stop it.
Solter. The winter solstice. Oh! Listen, you know, I don't know if you've ever played it, but Magic the Gathering, yeah?
Sure.
Have you seen the new card that came out?
What dumb crap are you about to pull up?
It's the Orange Wizard of Tariffs. Immediately halves your portfolio. What does this mean? Chat, what does 6 stars mean? Does that mean it's like
this
a
is not
legendary?
Magic the Gathering. This is Yu-Gi-Oh. Thank you.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! I like how you know that, you nerd. Anyways, shout out to you. Thanks. The greatest liquidation. What a disaster Friday was. We had not record, but we had a massive viewership. Everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Okay, let's talk about this. Inflows from last week. Bitcoin still managed to bring in 2.7 billion. We're seeing a shift. Back majority in a Bitcoin. Solana broke its massive streak. Still brought in 93 million. Ethereum, 338 million. XRP, 61 million. Everything was kind of null. And then you take a look at this. Is interesting. I always like to look at this. Here you can see what's currently still oversold and what's currently overbought. Some of the most oversold tokens, Rob, currently over the last 24 hours that we know. This is Walrus. This is a sweet ecosystem play. If you're a fan of that, that is oversold. Fetch AI, extremely oversold. Currently sitting at, on the 24-hour, 25. So very oversold on the 24-hour. Kind of zoom in here. Towns, oversold. This one is ASR. Not familiar with that one. What else you got on here? Anything on here that pop out that you are familiar with? AIXBT oversold. 1 inch oversold. And you look at what's overbought over the last 24 hours. Dash overbought. 24-hour RSI sitting at 80. So those of you that are in Dash positions, just keep that in mind. And then everything else, I mean...
You know, another interesting play...
SNX also, and Zcash oversold.
Another interesting play, something to keep an eye on for kind of legacy tokens, and maybe there's a little something to it, kind of some of those last cycle runners. You got Basic Attention Token, also known as BAT here, up 50% on the week. This is right outside the top 100. I always like to keep an eye on projects that come out of this top 100 or outside the top 100, come into the top 100, because then all of a sudden it's a lot of eyeballs. It's got a big number. People are like, hey, what is this? Like, and so a lot of times those things will continue to rally. Is something that's up 30% on the 24 hours, 50% on the week, is that something that might be a little overheated and not the best time to get in? I don't know. I don't really put much behind Basic Attention Token. I'm not a big fan of this is the token for the
listen, man.
What's that called? Brave, right?
Yeah, I don't care about that right now.
Yeah, Brave doesn't.
Hear me out. This guy's on fire right now, bro. You know when you get on a hot streak, like in gambling or in sports or really anything?
Is it optimism?
Yeah. We put this trade in 15 minutes ago. So, yeah.
It's a no-brainer, dude. I mean, sometimes you just look at these things.
What else you got in there? Okay, so what'd you say? You said BAT. What else? Give me more.
BAT's interesting. I would be a little cautious on that.
Come on, man. What's the next 10x, bro?
Next 10x.
Yeah, give it to us. Please. Y'all got any more of those 10x's?
What is wrong with you?
What? Dave Chappelle, man. One of the best comedians out. What are you laughing at back there? You don't think he's one of the best comedians?
I would say this.
Yeah.
If you want to scratch me for another pick here, right there, back, middle, back. All right. So I would go, honestly, something to keep an eye out for would be, where's she at? Where is it? I know it's down here somewhere.
Harmony?
No, ain't no damn Harmony.
Thank God.
Get out of here.
I was going to say, please.
Radium. There it is. Radium. Outside the top 150 at number 160. I think that if you were to take in the account that the Solana ecosystem will rally, I think that Radium more than likely is going to be a big winner. It's sitting outside the top 150 and not seeing big move on the 1 week here. This is something that has not bounced back from its drop. So similar to what we saw there on Optimism, we've seen a pullback from 260 and it fell off, went as low as $1.45. It's sitting at $2. And so this thing a week ago at $3, currently at $2, we're seeing that Solana is being traded on the CME now. So there's going to be a little bit more volatility on Solana. Like to think that if Bitcoin were to get back up to 120,000, you'll see some of that money flowing back into altcoins. I think some altcoins got punched in the gut and just aren't going to come back. And some of that money is going to rotate in to the bigger, safer altcoins, which would be Solana and Ethereum. And so the Solana and Ethereum ecosystem plays is where I'm at. I'm not quite as bullish on Radium as I am Optimism, just because Solana is down compared to Bitcoin a lot harder than compared to Ethereum. So Ethereum's only down 10% compared to Bitcoin's 8%. Solana's down 13%. So I would like to see a rally out of Solana first on the base layer. Then I think the ecosystem plays will rally afterwards. But if you're trying to get an early entry onto a platform that's way down outside the top 150, I think that when you look at Radium, I think it's a great play. That's just because that's something that's down a lot. Why can't I ever find Radium? Where's it at?
It's not meant to be, man.
Whatever. Yeah, we already looked at the chart. I'll just leave it there.
Damn, bro, we got a runner here, bro.
Radium here. There we go. So, it's at number 111.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I like this play here.
Yeah, I like
you look on the 1 year though. Not a lot of upside. This would not be a long-term play. This is more of a short entry trading. And you can even see here, it lost its support. It was over that $2 range here before. And so here we are yet again. I think that $3 is something that could easily pop off for Radium, especially if Solana starts getting moving.
Nice. You want to do the trading show with me today?
No, I don't.
I'll be doing a trading show today by myself. I guess Rob won't be joining me.
Yeah. Tom Crown in the chart.
Tommy!
What's up, bro?
What's up, Tom? I think Tom is closing in on 200,000 YouTube subscribers. I saw him posted on X. Let's take a peek here. Tom, I'm calling you out in public, bro. You're like one of the only traders that has not come on the show, man. Literally one of the only traders that we actually want on the show. We can't figure out a date and time, bro. Let's make it happen. Come on. Give the people what they want. Let's make it happen. I know you're a busy man. Let's see. Tom Crown, 190. Let's go. Shout out to you, Tom. I'm assuming people watching, they are subscribed. If you're not subbed to Tom, definitely go subscribe to him. He's got a lot of great, especially if you're a beginner trader. He's got a whole playlist of, breaking down indicators and trading. I've watched a few of those videos. They're really, really good. So shout out to you, Tom. Let's bring you on the show, bro. Let's make it happen. I don't know how, but we'll make it happen. All right. Michael Saylor, man, you think he's You think he's running out of money? I know last time you said he's flipping that mattress over and the spare change. They've acquired 220 Bitcoin for 27 million. I was going to say 207 million.
That's a toppy price. That was 123. My curiosity
Literally bought the top.
My curiosity will be how much of the Bitcoin post the drop did man pick up? You know he bought.
You think so? I don't know.
It's going to take, because this was a week ago,
the last
right?
2-3 buys.
So when was the 123 price? And so you look, you got us. The 123 was he bought on the 8th. Somewhere is either the 8th or the 9th. So it took him 5 days. We'll call it 5 days for him to announce it, right? For the deal to go through, whatever, him to receive it, lock it up in his cold storage. So we know we're going to get another announcement that he bought this bottom here, 5 days. So in 2 days from now, we should get an announcement. I'm just curious how much.
You don't get an announcement. You get a little picture.
Yeah.
But orange dots look nice.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just curious. I'm wondering. He bought 220 at a top. Things got on sale all of a sudden. I'm wondering how much change you think, over or under 500 Bitcoin.
Breaking news. There's no breaking news about the orange charts. What? Over, under, he bought 500 Bitcoin?
His last 2 buys have been well under.
I know, but I
500.
think he's doesn't have money anymore. He's broke.
But he had a massive discount here, so he's incentivized to buy more.
And to be fair, over the weekend, people couldn't sell the shit out of his stock, so I don't know. I don't know if he bought the bottom, dude. I don't.
You don't think he's bought the bottom?
Money.
He will always buy the bottom. Just like he buys the top, he'll always buy the bottom. So he bought some. Maybe he bought $100 Bitcoin because he didn't have a lot. But
MicroStrategy buys 1 Bitcoin, buys 0.65 Bitcoin.
But he bought some. He picked up the phone and was like, "Hey guys, let's buy this dip." And I don't know how much money he had on hand, but he bought some for sure.
Then it's probably under $50 million.
I think he has some reserves.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm gonna say he bought
I don't know.
I'm gonna say he bought 600, 700 Bitcoin.
Do you think so? Interesting. I'm curious what the chat thinks. Do you guys think Sailor bought this massive dip on Friday? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Or do you think he's out of money? 1 for yes, he bought it. 2 for no, he did not buy it. I want to, speaking of buying, listen to Hunter Horsley from Bitwise. Listen to what he said.
So what do I mean by that? We're chatting with a sovereign wealth fund who's interested in buying Bitcoin. But it's going to take them about 6 months to get through the process. So they own shares of MicroStrategy now. We were just approved at a $1 trillion bank in the US, their wealth management division. It's the first time they have access to a Bitcoin ETF. A lot of them have used DATs, MicroStrategy and others to get exposure. There is an article in the Wall Street Journal about Mark Casey, the portfolio manager at Capital Group, who's the largest owner of MicroStrategy. Mark is absolutely fantastic. If you ask him, his mutual fund is only allowed to invest in equities. So he has a lot of conviction on Bitcoin.
We'll know in 6 months, I guess. You also have this, Larry Fink. Are we going to get a copyright if we play this?
60 minutes? No, you're good.
Larry Fink on 60 Minutes about crypto.
I did say Bitcoin, because we were talking about Bitcoin then, was the domain of money launderers and thieves. But, the markets teach you have to always relook at your assumptions. There is a role.
If the wealthiest, well, he's not the richest man. If the man behind the largest financial institution in the entire world is able to sit here and say, I was wrong, Bitcoin is not a sandbox for money launderers and yada, yada, you can do the same with some of the projects. I know last week, this dude went on a rant about staying in one or two projects because you've gotten attached to the project and you're part of the community. But and myself included, and I'm sure Rob included as well.
I'm cold, bro. I done left a lot of ladies in my day, and I got no problem leaving a crypto project as well. If you do me wrong, you dead to me, girl. I mean, crypto. And you know what? I got no problem cutting my losses, man. 100%. And you know what? Like, I do it all the time, man. And here's the thing. Like, if you want to be in altcoins, you better have a short-term memory. I'm just letting you know, you better have short-term memory if you want to make money in altcoins, because what's dominant now ain't dominant next season. There's always some hindsight crypto where you can be like, well, what about Ethereum? What about XRP? Yeah, but what about the other 5,000 tokens that died? And so whatever you're passionate about now, it's likely not to succeed. It's just the reality. So you better be nimble. You better shift around your portfolio. Otherwise, you're going to have one winner and then 15 losers. And then all of a sudden you do the math and you're still down $10,000. Don't be that guy or gal or whatever pronoun. But yeah, man, if it's not going in the right direction, and you can always enter back in. There's like, you know what the problem is that these crypto projects have propped up this idea of HODL, right? Like, which it works for Bitcoin. Sure. Great. Awesome. Great theory. Buy Bitcoin, don't sell it. Right. Awesome. Bitcoin ain't going nowhere. But they push that same narrative down the chain, downstream to altcoins. And they try to get you on this don't ever sell, don't ever sell. It's just because they use you as liquidity and just keep exiting and then just making sure the price is stable, right? If you want your project to not essentially go to zero, you tell your people to hodl, right? If you want your project to succeed, you build and you make people have a product they want to use. And that's the thing. Like, if you got a product that nobody's using and it's all hype and promise and roadmap and one day and it'll do this and you just wait, banks are going to do this one day. Next thing you know, you're going to be at Walmart checkout and you're going to see, give me back my money coin. And you're going to be like, wow, yeah, the roadmap actually worked.
Did you say, give me back my money coin?
Yeah, give me back my money coin.
I don't get it.
That's what happens with a lot of altcoins.
Give me back my money coin.
Be like, how many times have you bought some crap ass altcoin and you're like, man, all I want is to come back to the entry price. Give me back my money. I bought $10,000 at 45 cents, and you're looking at it and it's at like 8 pennies.
Always like that.
You're at 8 cents and you're like, just give me back my money.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah.
Just come back to 45.
Let's pick a winner. So we did an emergency stream on Friday after everything collapsed. And we had we got to like a little over 700 viewers. Pretty good. And we said we're going to give one new subscriber $100. And we had to wait for today. Well, October 10th was the date. And we're looking here at the subscribers. I'm going to pull this up. From October 10th, these are all the subscribers that joined. Okay, there's more. We got, so here's the next 50. All the way down to October 10th. Gina, I would like you to pick a winner from a new subscriber from October 10th, okay? And it starts with 95 Matt D. Just once you have it picked, I'm going to go through the 3 pages, maybe pick one from each page, and then make a final decision at the very end, okay? So
you got a paper and pen over there? Or what?
No, she's not writing it all down. Just put them in your head. And now we can give a shout out to these people. MB13.
If you want to write it down, you write it down. Or you keep it in your head, whatever.
Okay, you be a strong, independent woman. Don't listen to Robin. Thomas Billman joined. Shamika joined as a new subscriber. Massage. Ooh, massage. Speaking of massage, I was getting my wife a massage. My hands were hurting. Charlie, Darnell, Sincere Nuru. Interesting. Some of these names. God is love. Amen to that. That's right, babe. Tony Pippins. Anyways, Gina, I hope you're taking mental note and grabbing some people in here. Rob, this would be a good time to practice how you pronounce people's names. And then Dennis with a Y is our last one. So Gina, I'd like you to pick one name that I just went through this entire list, and I'm going to give them $100.
Wait, can you scroll back up? Scroll back up. I think it might have been on the other page.
What was the name?
His name said like Big Daddy or something.
Where's your head at, Gina? Big Daddy, huh?
I thought it was funny.
Big Daddy, if you're watching.
You're going to get $100 and a lot more.
Big Daddy, if you're watching, Gina, you're looking for a Big
No,
Daddy.
it's just
Sorry,
funny.
Gina, I'm
There
putting
it
you on the
is.
spot. Right here?
Big Daddy cool.
Big Daddy cool?
Big Daddy
I
cool,
picked
huh?
him. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Looks like this dude is a singer or something. He's got 168 subscribers. All right, Big Daddy cool. I didn't see you in here. If you're in here, we need your X handle. At whatever your X handle is, I'll ask you for a USDT address and I'll send you $100. No questions asked, except for your address. If you're watching after the fact, comment after the fact your X handle, and it has to come from this account. So I make sure that no one's trying to steal your $100. Big Daddy cool. Congratulations. Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the Sin City fam. I'll be doing a live stream in 5 minutes.
And then Big Daddy, if you want, you can always drop that in the comments. You can drop that in the comments as well if you're watching this after you're live. And
Yeah, that's right. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You just call him Big Daddy?
That's my boy. Big Rob, Big Daddy.
Hey, Big Daddy.
A lot of bigs going on right
If you're watching, Big Daddy, I want you to... All right. Trading show in 5 minutes. Come with me. We'll break down the charts. We'll look at potentially some entries, some exits also. And I think, my friend, you are absolutely... You got to join me on the trading show, bro. Please, for 10 minutes.
Oh.
Just sit there for 10 minutes.
No.
Please. Come find out if Rob's going to join me and take my please as a yes, no problem, David. I'll do you a favor. And
look here on the, since we started the show, the biggest gainer on the 1 hour is Optimism.
Telling you the man's on fire.
Hour-long show, biggest gainer since we started the show has been Optimism.
If you're at a casino and you're on fire and you're running hot in blackjack or roulette, you do not stop. You keep going. And we're going to keep going. You got any other picks? It's up 50% already, man. Look at this.
No, I told you, Radium's my other.
Anyways, Rob is going to join me. I'll literally super glue his ass to the seat if I have to. And if you stay in the chat, you'll be redirected. We love you guys. Gina, roll the outro. Thank you. 5 minutes. See you then. Bye.
Sin City Crypto. Cassius Cuvée. Yeah. Sin City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.